she claims on her Medium that she took multiple pregnancy tests.
Yeah.
Including one in front of him.
Yep.
One at home, one at the urgent care, one done in his presence. And then soon after discovered she was pregnant with twins.
Yep.
And that he went silent when it was time to take a paternity test. She said she made 29 requests at a lab that he had previously selected. And then she says when he finally responded, he dared her to reach out to the tabloids.
Him daring her to reach out to the tabloids was her going, you're going to sign a dating contract and agree to date me with intention for a week and explore intimacy, and you're going to respond to me on this, and you're going to respond to me on this, or I'm going to go to the tabloids and tell them what you did and tell my story. And she kept making those threats so often that he went, fine, I don't care. Go to the tabloids, do whatever you have to do. I'm not going to give in to your demands and play your game. So she took that as, he dared me to, he told me to. He said he would if I didn't. No, the man wanted her out of his life and was not willing to play the back and forth harassment game she was trying to grab me. She sent 500 texts and over 13 phone numbers.
This is like something from a Lifetime movie, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, this is a Lifetime movie plot. And he claims that he did not penetrate her, that he did not. Okay.
His story has stayed the same from day one, that they did not have penetrative sex. She gave him 2 blowies. And I was back in the days when Laura was on Reddit and the story first came out and people were like, wait a second, like, tell me about this, tell me about that. And she goes, he was high on gummies and invited me over, so maybe he just doesn't remember what happened. And we all went, so that sounds like he couldn't consent and you took advantage of him. And she went, absolutely not. This was 100% consensual. We hooked up. And she released an email of going back and forth with Clayton where Clayton's like, I do not believe you are pregnant. And when she released that email publicly, she blacked out the area where Clayton said, we did not even have sex. So more info came out as the story produced. We got that full email where he says we never had sex. You gave me 2 blowjobs. That was it. Well, months of us not, her not being believed, she turned that into, well, he sexually assaulted me. He took advantage of me because I told him I did not want to have sex and he stuck it in anyways. So she has changed. She has tried to go after every different avenue that she can attack him and make him out to be the bad guy. And for me, all that does is someone who has been essayed, as someone who has been in a domestic violence relationship, all that does is degrade my word and my story and my voice, because she's lying about things that really happened to me. And I don't believe a dang thing that comes out of her mouth because she's told lies before. So what it hurts anyone who's actually gone through those things, because now I'm not going to be believed as much because we see the lies that people like her will tell.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good point.
Into silence on a number of issues.
But background checks are public knowledge. You can look them up. So again, you're proving my point. He dropped his drawers without knowing a thing about her.
No, you don't background check everyone in society. That's just not how people function. But that's called
defensive living. When you get into relationships with people nowadays, you have to know who you're dealing with.
That's not the discussion that we should be having here. This is exactly like, okay. No.
Oh, well, then it's going to continue to happen. Then people will continue to be stupid in their private lives and relationships that they get in, and people will continue to teach their kids that it's okay to just engage in casual sex with anyone, anytime, anywhere. Be damned the consequences. Who cares? You never know who you're getting involved with, getting naked with. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And then just play victim. When the person turns out to be
consequences for sex is not a litigious monster who upends your entire life. That is not a possible consequence for sex.
It's a possible consequence, right? It's a possible.
So is dying every time I get in my car. Does that mean I should never drive my car again?
That's why you drive defensively and carefully, so that you don't die.
And I've been hit sitting at a parked light with 2 other cars get into a crash and it hits mine and damages my car. What was I supposed to do then? I was just collateral damage in that accident. Same with these men. You are putting the responsibility on prevention on the victims.
What you are saying objectively is not the thing to be focusing on here, because without this being called out, there will be more and more people emboldened to do this because it is not being called out. They can do it and know that they have a high likelihood of actually getting away with it, like she has with the other 3 men. This is the first time something has actually been done to prevent it. So I would want people to see this and be like, this is going to happen to you. This is what's in that details here. Learn from her tactics so that you can do this, etc. We can look at that, but when you're framing it on what they should have chosen to do, as in, oh, maybe you shouldn't have premarital sex. Oh, that's not the issue. What they were not perceptive to, which I don't think anyone can be blamed for this, is a fake sonogram. I don't think anybody deserves a fake sonogram being made against them. And that has to be done so that when you go through the sonogram, you can actually be like, actually, doctor, could you please do this multiple test and see whether it's like, or you can act quicker if you're going through this. That's the way I would advise someone, and still understand that they're still the victims in this situation, because you are forgetting that he actually is a victim. It's not about him crossing the road.
Can I speak now?
Both ways.
Can I speak now? I think you're wasting your time thinking that you're going to somehow reason with the crazy people out there on the internet that they shouldn't take the path she's taken and do what she did. Crazy. It doesn't work that way. The crazy people watching aren't going to learn from this woman's mistakes. They're not going to, because they're crazy. We walk
no one's
amongst
thinking that
people.
we can change a crazy person's perspective. We want to change the court's perspective on how they address paternity and protective order cases. And we want to warn those people who haven't had to experience someone as litigious and psychotic as this woman to be aware that there are types of people out there like her. That's not saying that it's like Clayton shouldn't have done what he did. It's to say, hey, this is how far things can go when women really want to take advantage of you. We know that it is an absolute pointless battle to try and get Laura to admit and to say, you know what, I did this wrong and this isn't how I should treat people. That's very much aware. She's doubled down, tripled down. She's not going to give that in and say, you're right, I lied and I shouldn't have done this. Over 10 years to all these different men. What we can do and what we are fighting to do is to get the procedure changed in Arizona so women cannot start paternity cases as early as she did without proof of pregnancy coming directly from a doctor and not the photoshopped sonograms that she tried to present. We want it so that there is better communication between the protective orders, because she's had them in California, she has them in different counties here. In Arizona, where I live, we have the Superior Court and we have the Municipal Court. And if you get a protective order at the Municipal Court, it does not show up at Superior Court and you cannot pull up all of the details from it. So she has gone to multiple different judges, and we have the proof of her going to multiple different courthouses, and when she doesn't get a protective order served, she goes to a different judge and tries again with a stronger story. That is what we are trying to prevent. It's not about changing her and convincing her she did something wrong. It's about changing the courts and making them aware of what she has been doing. But you're not going to change the courts. You're not going to change the courts. You're not going to change the courts online. No, you don't. It has to be done
They're actually doing it right now.
It has to be done
pursuing this case. The case is being pursued right now as we speak. That's why she's
because of people like me.
And
we are making these changes.
It's done grassroots. It's done with state representatives. It's done by voting. It's not done by just idle gossip on a YouTube channel.
People still, but that I don't think you realize. Go ahead, Big Johnson. Kay.
Yeah.
I don't think you're realizing that is now in the court's attention to do something about those votes that happened before. They now are aware of this, so that the people that they've been voted in, because you're now moving into something is not equatable.
Well, these are people fabulous. That it's moving through the court.
No,
Kay,
please don't speak over me.
Through the court.
Please don't speak over me, please. Please don't speak over me. Right. What's happening right now is the courts are now seeing this case because someone of notoriety has finally brought it into them, and they're now referring it. That's a big thing for a court to refer to a DA for a conviction from, what was it, a family law case, right? It was from family law court, was it?
Yes,
Big
it was.
Johnson? Yeah. So coming from that court, to go to a criminal court, like likely to go to a criminal court. There's a lot of merit to this. That should be highlighted to deter people, not just only to deter people, but hold the people that do this accountable and use the system in their benefit. Because there's a reason why she has been able to escape 3 protective orders. It is not about Clayton here at all in any way. He didn't do anything wrong by talking with this woman. He didn't do anything wrong. No. This is not the time.
He didn't just talk. Well, then why'd you have me on your show? If you're just going to direct what I can and cannot say. And if you Google if it's illegal to fake a pregnancy test, yes, it is. And women like her have already been prosecuted across the country. And if you give me 5 minutes, I will find multiple such cases where the woman was prosecuted for faking a pregnancy test and for it getting to this point. So it's not true. It's not true that poor Clayton is the first victim of this, and it's now being drawn attention to the courts. I pulled up an article from The Atlantic from 2013.
Weird. That contradicts what you said a minute ago, that this is a one-off case and you've never heard of it before. If you're so quickly able to Google how many times this has happened in court.
What I meant by one-off is it being a reality star. But this happens with common people. This has happened before.
It also happened with Trevor Bauer, who's also in Maricopa County, who's a professional athlete.
Well, it sounds like Maricopa County is the problem then. Good luck solving it. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I can't opine about Maricopa County. I can't opine about the court. Well, so are you. Because you want to just degrade my opinion on the morality of this and tell me that I'm not allowed to have it.
This is
and you want to shame me for having my morality opinion, although it's somehow just outrageous now to have an opinion about morality and to tell men that it's wrong to take advantage of women sexually, that they have no intention of having any commitment with. It's just outrageous now to say that. You want to shame me and back me into a corner and accuse me of victim blaming. Now you're talking over me. I'm done. Now you're talking over me and telling me to shush after telling me not to talk over you. So now I am done. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. Rage quit. All right.
And the stream just got better.
I am so sorry, Dr. Heinz, about losing my cool, but by golly.
Wow.
Wow.
That was an interesting lesson, because I actually wanted to hear her opinions in regards to Karen Reed. Now, because I would love to know how she would think the husband in this case should have been got hit by the car. Then, if that was because she believes she's guilty. Yeah. I was going to ask her that question, and now she's not even here to answer it, because I would have loved to know. Oh, now she is okay.